All right, we're here at Red's 100-yard indoor range where you shoot 9 to 9, 7 days a week, rain or shine. What I want to show you today is how you can precision shoot your holdover scope. We went to the Chris Kyle Sniper Challenge with a off-the-shelf DPMS AR-10 and a Primary Arms ACSS HUD scope. And we were shooting against some of the best shots in the country, the best shooters, the best custom-made rifles. We were shooting against some setups that were probably $15,000 or $20,000 because they came in from all over. Whether you're a civilian or you're in the military, who would not want the title of the Chris Kyle Sniper Check? I mean, they came in from everywhere. We were shooting all day. Had one shooter after another going up on that elevated sniper tower, shooting all the different plates and yardages to 1,000 yards. And we had to shoot less than 1 MOA in the wind to clear the plates all the way to 1,000 at the different yardages, the different plates. We had a 4-inch plate at 400. We had a 10-inch plate at 1,000. So that's 1 MOA to hit that plate. And so what I wanted to do, well, they didn't want to have to dial the scope each shot because they had a confirmation plate at 800 yards. And this was the tricky deal. If you're running the plates, you couldn't move to the next yardage until you cleared the yardage you were on. If you missed the confirmation plate at 800, you had to come back 2 yardages back to 500. So for all the guys that had the wrist coach that had the first yardage at 400, and then how many clicks to get to 5, and how many clicks the next yardage, and how many clicks to 8, and how many clicks to 1,000 from each yardage to the next one. If they were 3/4 of the way to 1,000 yards and they missed and they had to come back, I never saw anybody recover from that because they didn't have a total clicks. They had it back for each yardage going forward. And if they missed and they had to go back, I didn't see anybody recover from that. Then I didn't see anybody that missed the confirmation plate that cleared the plates. So we ran the plates to 1,000. There was 6 shooters. Of all the shooters that came and shot, there were only 6 shooters that cleared all the plates in that 2.5 minutes. And you had 2.5 minutes included getting on the map. Your rifle started on the map, on the bipod. They'd ask you, shooter ready, buzzer go off, beep! You had 2.5 minutes to get down, get on your rifle, load your rifle, and start running those plate racks and those plates all the way to 1,000 yards. 6 people did it. We did it with an ACSS HUD scope. So what I wanted to show you is you can precision shoot that scope. What you have to do, and I did a little chart here to show you, and it's pretty simple once you think about it. A scope like that is set up for a caliber and a bullet weight and a BC and all that. And it has a certain amount of drop etched in the glass for your scope. So then these guys would ask me, well, what do you do with weather changes? Well, here's what you do. You record your initial sight-in weather on your initial sight-in. Whatever ballistics program you have, whether it's applied ballistics on a, Kestrel, if it's Straylock on your phone, if it's JBM, whoever you use, record the weather and record the total up in mils for 1,000 yards. So let's just say it's 973, 9.73 mils up at 1,000 yards. Okay. You can make one adjustment either before you go out in the morning hunting or before you climb up on that elevated tower. You can run the weather, go to your range card, see what the total up is against your recorded original sight-in. That's where you zero your turret as your original sight-in. So let's say it's 963 up. The density altitude is higher, your bullet's flying faster, flatter. It's 1/10 of a mil less drop than your original sight-in where your scope is zeroed. All you got to do is go down 1/10 mil click. Go down 1/10 mil click, go up there, go to work. You've adjusted the trajectory of the scope for the weather all the way from 100 to 1,000 yards. Now, a lot of people think that 1 or 2 clicks won't matter, but 1/10 of a mil is 3.6 inches at 1,000 yards. and we had to shoot one MOA at 1,000 in the wind to hit a 10-inch plate. So the little 1 or 2 mil clicks will matter. Now if you're shooting an elk or something that big, okay, that's different. We're trying to precision shoot it. Now I'll show you the other way, where your original weather was your recorded weather and up was 9.73 mils. Okay, the density altitude is lower, your air is worse, your bullet's dropping more, and your new up is 9.83 instead of 9.73. So it's 1/10 of a mil more drop than what your scope is zeroed at. All you have to do is come one click up. 1/10 mil click up, you've zeroed the scope for that weather, the whole trajectory of the scope. So where these guys are trying to dial their scope for each yardage and looking at their wrist coach and each yardage, and the time is going and they're fixing to run out of time, all I had to do was go to my holdover point and shoot. Because before I walked up on the tower, run the weather, went to the range card, one click either way, I've adjusted the whole trajectory of the scope, and I go up there and I go to work. Now we didn't win. I'll tell you that we didn't win. We were one of only six that made it to the finals. But I'm telling you, it was some impressive shooters there and some impressive equipment there. There were 3 guys on the final shoot-off. You had 30 seconds to get on the mat and take your shot, cold board 1,000 yards. 30 seconds, beep, get on the mat, load your rifle, and shoot. There were 3 guys that shot within 2 inches of perfect center at 1,000 yards in the wind, shooting across an angling valley with 3 wind calls going across that valley. The guy that won shot 1 inch and 3/16 from perfect center. That's pretty impressive in that wind. And you know, when you have to get out dial calipers to see who won, you know you were in a class above most shooters. Well, we got to the final 6 with a HUD scope, a holdover scope, and you can do the same thing. So anyhow, this shows you how to adjust it. We're going to also do a video of how to calibrate your load to a holdover scope. We're going to show you how you can use your ballistic software to calibrate your load to the holdover scope, all the different things you can do to calibrate your load. The ACSS HUD was set up for a M8308 round, basically an M14 with a 22-inch barrel. We have a 308 load that exactly matches that scope. We also have a 30-06 load, a 270 load, a 6.5 Grendel load, and a 223. The 223 is good to 900. 75 grain bullet goes transonic before you get to 1,000, so your groups are off, but it's dead nuts all the way to 900. And for a 75 grain bullet with a 223, 900's a long ways. You don't have a lot left if you're hunting when you get to 900 yards with a 223, anything bigger than a gopher. So, but we did work up all those different calibers for that scope because we just love it. It's got the wind holds, 5 and 10 mile an hour wind holds. We'll also show you how to get to 15 miles an hour with the marks that are on it. There's a 10, an 18, and a 36-inch rangefinder built into it. You've got movers, you've got leads for movers for walking, jogging, or running, all the way to 600 yards in that scope. It's just an amazing piece of work. Everything in that scope means something. And what I've noticed is when you start shooting that scope, my mind kind of blocks out everything that I'm not using. It's not cluttered to me. It's nice and open. I use the wind holes, and it's really a pretty awesome setup. You can really deploy this scope fast. So anyhow, be sure and watch those other videos. I'm also going to put a video in the description. I'm going to put a link to Primary Arms video, the guy that developed the scope over the years, that developed this scope and the HUD, and he has a video that's about 7 or 8 minutes long that explains everything and how to use it in the scope. So instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, I'm just going to put a link to his video in the description of the video you're watching now. So anyhow, I hope you get the most out of your holdover scope, and thanks a bunch for watching.
Be sure to go check out 2 of our other videos on our channel, Primary Arms 60-56 ACSS HUD Platinum Series Scope Review and a 30-06 Running Plates to 1,000 Yard Shooting Review. Also coming soon, how to calibrate your load to your holdover scope. That will be up in a few weeks, so you can go check that out on our channel as well. If you would like to get email notifications on new videos we release, please click this bell on our channel. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.